Hello, good morning. Today is Friday. Oh, why did I think today was Saturday? Today is Friday, February 19th, and I am here to just give y'all a quick update on how I'm doing. So many of y'all have reached out to me, email, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, asking how I'm doing with the Texas winter storm and everything that came with that. And as of right now, I'm good, well, alive, warm bed, full belly, running water, power's back on. But it has definitely been a crazy experience. I definitely won't say that I've had it the worst, but it hasn't been just great either. So yeah, I guess I'll just start back to, what day was that? Last week, after I got off work from flying. I have to look at the calendar to tell y'all days and stuff because I really don't be remembering. So last week Thursday, I got released from work. I was supposed to be having a 4-day weekend. As I was walking to my car, y'all, this is in Dallas, y'all know I'm based in Dallas. So as I was walking to my car to get ready to drive back home to Houston, because in my mind I was like, well, I have a 4-day weekend, I want to drive my car down because I was supposed to have a closing on this past Monday, which clearly did not happen. A real estate closing, let me be specific, sorry. So I was going to drive my car down, and then I was supposed to work for another 3 days. So I was supposed to be off Friday to Monday. Then I was supposed to go back to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I was going to be off for another stretch of days. So I was just going to drive my car down, leave my car here in Houston for those 3 days, fly back to Dallas, blah, blah. So that was what I was supposed to do. Now, what happened was, as I was leaving the airport and walking to my car, it was extremely icy outside, and cold and frigid, to the point where I was like slip and sliding and trying to just get to my car. So I got to Mahogany, my car. Her doors were frozen shut. Now, I was able to get inside, but of course, you know, I mean, if her doors are frozen shut, clearly my windshield is, you know, covered with ice and things like that. So I sat there for a second. I was like, okay, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I was like, I don't really want to take the chances of driving 3.5 hours back to Houston with this type of weather, and, you know, just ice being on the roads and things like that. Like, this is the South. We don't drive in that, so our cars are not prepared for that, our streets are not prepared for that, our infrastructure is not prepared for that. We're not prepared for that. So I was like, you know what, Alexia, just fly back home. You're still at the airport, just, you know, hop on a flight, an onward flight, and just go home. So as I'm sitting there at the gate waiting for the plane to board, still in the back of my mind, I was like, dang, should I drive or not? Like, can I make it? Can I make it? Here pops up on my phone is a news article about the 100-car pileup that happened in, they say it's Fort Worth, but in Dallas, whatever, it really wasn't too far from the airport. So I'm looking at that and watching the video, y'all, and that video was insane just to watch, of just cars and semi-truck trailers and whatever, just one by one, literally sliding into each other because they're going over an overpass, a bridge that is iced over, and now, you know, they have no traction, so they're literally just one by one hitting each other. 100-car pileup in Dallas, the same day that I'm thinking that I want to drive my silly self back to Houston, Texas. So I was like, okay, this is clearly a sign that I just need to stay right here and fly home. So I fly home, and things are still good. It's still pretty cold, but it wasn't like crazy. I was able to get a little work done Friday. I ended up renting a car. So I get home Friday, I'm talking to the lender and things about this real estate closing that I was supposed to be having Monday, and that was actually being delayed because of something that had nothing to do with the weather. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and swap my days while I can to make sure that I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just to make sure, you know, I get this closed and my client gets into their home. So luckily, not even thinking weather-wise, I swapped my days to be here in Houston still to handle my real estate business, which was a complete blessing in disguise, because if I would have been in Dallas, I'd have been losing my mind, let me tell you. So I ended up doing that. So still home. So the roads here in Houston didn't really start getting bad until Sunday night. Sunday was Valentine's Day, so Sunday night, right? That's when things had started getting like pretty chilly, and people had started losing power that night. Like, was it that night? No, it wasn't that night. Yeah, no, it was that night. People had started losing power like 2 a.m. Monday morning, I guess you could say. I started getting text messages from friends. Oh, my power went out. Da 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 da. Monday around 6 p.m. my mom and stepdad were all home. You know, power's still on, everything's still good. It's just cold outside and the roads are frozen over, so we're not going nowhere. But 6 p.m. Monday night, we lost power. And it was like, like, okay. And we've lost power before, you know, like, it's Houston, Texas, you know, a hurricane city. Like, we've lost power multiple times. But the difference between losing power during hurricane season is that it's still warm outside. So you can still semi-comfortable. For me, I would rather be hot any day, rather than freezing. So losing power during this winter storm that is unprecedented, that we haven't had in like 100 years or whatever the news is saying, it was a bit extreme because we're cold. Luckily at my house, we have gas appliances, so our stove is gas, our oven is gas, our water heater is gas, so we were still able to just function off of that. You know, we have flashlights, we have all of those things, but at the end of the day, it was still cold. It's just, you know, it's just uncomfortable. But I wasn't going to complain, because at that point I had friends that had been without power much longer than I had. So we went without power for about 36 hours, I think. And still talking to my, you know, I have a lot of family here in Houston. We all have different houses. All of them had lost their power as well. They had lost their power before we had lost our power. I think my mother really jinxed it, because as soon as she texted them, it was like, hey, we have power, like, y'all come over here, when, you know, it had been a few hours since theirs hadn't come back on. We literally lost ours, like, as soon as she sent the text message. I was like, that's not even funny. But that's what happened. My cousin in San Antonio, who has the 2 babies under 2, they lost pretty much everything, power, water. And that's like the biggest struggle, because it's like, as adults, you know, like, we understand and we can take care of ourselves, but kids, it's, you know, you take them out to see the snow a little bit, but, you know, you want them to come back into a warm house. You know, you need to be able to function. Like, she has a newborn baby. Cozy's what, 3 months, you know, and over there freezing. Like, that's not cool. So, and then just the crazy thing is that it's like rolling blackouts. I know I'm kind of like getting off track here, but it's like rolling blackouts. So you just really don't know when your power is going to be on, when it's going to be off. You know, she ended up going to shelter at her friend's house. Like, she said her friend was like 7 minutes down the road there in San Antonio, and they didn't lose anything the entire time. So it's just, it was just crazy, y'all. So after our first 36 hours without power, our power came back on. We were great, happy, you know, all that stuff. And then later on that night, power went back off. I was like, yo, what is happening? But it was only off at that time, just for a couple of hours, and it went off at like 8 p.m. at night. So I honestly just went to sleep. I was like, F it. I just went to sleep, and then when I woke up, the power was on. So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, y'all, honestly, I'm good. I'm okay. It has definitely put a damper in my real estate stuff that I have going on. My poor client Simone was supposed to close Monday. Today is Friday. We're still not going to close. Her apartment, her lease ended on Wednesday. She had pipes burst. You know, furniture downstairs got wet, shoes got wet, you know, just all kind of things. And then we were supposed to be closing today because the title company had finally opened back up yesterday. We were going to be able to, you know, like just get things done and completed. And then title company's systems went down. I guess their main office or something lost power, which ruined all of their systems. So now they're just like, we won't be able to close until Monday now. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, but what can you really do? It's like, you can't, there's nobody to be mad at except for Texas leadership and, you know, those political people. And I'm not even gonna get into all of that. But if you all don't know, Texas, which I knew this, but, you know, not to the extreme of how extreme that this really could affect us. Texas is on a power grid system of their own. So basically the United States is like split into three, really. And some states all have like a federal power grid that they share, and if things happen then they can share power and electricity or whatever, and it's literally split into two. But Texas is all by itself. All by itself. We don't share with nobody. And long story short, from, you know, the news articles that I've been reading and just, you know, everything that's been going on, ERCOT, which is who controls our power, the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, right? That's who controls, like, I believe it's 75-80% of all the electricity in Texas. So from what I've read, they didn't want to be a part of the federal regulated electric whatever because, you know, money and coin basically. So they decided to handle it themselves, and it's been that way for a long time. This isn't something new, but long story short, they were ill prepared for this winter storm, and they screwed millions of Texans. In Houston alone, there's 2 million Texans. So, and I know that pretty much all 4 major cities in Texas have been in the same situation. So it's sad, it's annoying, and it's another reason, you know, that when it comes time to voting for things and looking at your mayors, your governors, your senators, and all of that, and who's in control of whatever, like, this is why you have to dig deep into the political things, because they affect you in ways that you don't even realize, like this. So yeah, the girls in Dallas at the crash pad lost power. They lost everything. Everything at the crash pad is electric. I think the oven might be gas, but everything else there is electric. So they were without power. You know what? I don't even know if the power is back on at the crash pad. They had left and went to friends' houses, you know, 30 miles away or whatever. And the apartment building sent out a email newsletter saying, you know, pipes were bursting and things of that nature were going on. So now then they were without water. So I don't even think anybody's back at the crash pad. I haven't really checked up. But if I would have been there, I would have been sick. You know, it's one thing, like, I just find a way to count my blessings, because it's one thing to be, you know, under these circumstances at home and still in the comfort of your family and loved ones. And not that I don't love the girls at the crash pad and things like that, but I already know I would have been miserable just trying to get back home, just to my dogs, and just to feel like some type of normalcy, regardless of if it's freezing or not, right? And then if I would have been flying, it was nothing but the grace of God that I dropped those 4 days that I was supposed to be working, because let me tell you, Dallas went to crap. For whatever reason, Dallas airport did not close. Like, the 2 airports here in Houston, which are still pretty big airports, IH and Hobby, both closed for a period of time. And a lot of other major airports, you know, in other surrounding cities, because I mean, it wasn't just Texas that had this winter storm, but Texas and I believe Oklahoma got hit pretty badly, and of course, you know, we lost all sources of energy in some type of way, and water. But Dallas didn't close, and Dallas was still, you know, pretending to operate flights out there. And one of my crash pad roommates was stuck in Corpus Christi for like 4 days. Another one was blessed to be stuck in Florida for like 3 or 4 days. They're still out here trying to have crew commute into Dallas just to come there, just for flights to be canceled. Just a lot of crap going on. And then, you know, no place for them to stay. Hotels are full, hotels are losing power, hotels are losing water. Just a lot. The crew room had a pipe burst and, you know, flooded out the crew room down in Terminal B. Like, it was just a lot going on. Like, crew scheduling lost power. They over here trying to call people from random phone numbers, folks not answering. It's just a hot mess. And if I had to be dealing with that, I probably would have lost my job, no lie. Like, well, not really, because eventually the union sent out an email, not to give y'all too much tea, but a little bit of tea, stating that we just, you know, the company did not prepare well for this winter storm, which we knew about. It wasn't a surprise. I feel like I've known that this winter storm was coming for about 2 weeks or so, at least a week and a half. They had been talking about it. The company did not prepare well. They did not handle it well. Because they did not prepare and handle it well, now you have crew members out here stuck, and you know, they're passing out MAs everywhere, missed assignments and late reports, and you know, all of this stuff. So basically they said from a certain date to a certain date, if you received any missed assignments, basically any derogatory reports on your record because of the winter storm, that they're gonna have all of that canceled and washed away, which is what they should do, because it was a hot mess. And like what do you want? Like, even still to this day, there's still flights canceled left and right. So I just, you know, in situations like this, I really, like I've been saying, I really do just try to count my blessings. You know, I'm blessed to just have been at home, laid up in front of the fireplace, reading a book. Everything hasn't been smooth, everything hasn't been great, but I'm alive. You know, there's no true detriment to my life during this storm. My friends and family are good. Nobody that I know, you know, hasn't lost their lives, or anything too extreme has happened. We've just been extremely uncomfortable and scared, honestly, because you don't know how long things like this will go on. But it seems like it's getting back to normal. So that's what was supposed to be my quick little update, but y'all know I get a little long-winded. I definitely have other vlogs to post, quite a few, but one, I edit with my iPad, and I had ordered a new iPad, and it was supposed to arrive sometime this week, but clearly I ain't seen a FedEx, a UPS, a USPS, nothing in days, which I don't expect to. So whenever I get my new iPad, I'll have vlogs back up for y'all. This I'm gonna have to just try to edit from my phone and do the best that I can. But yeah, y'all, that's it. I just wanted to give y'all that little check-in and just let y'all know how I've survived so far, and hopefully things will just get back to hot, humid, 70-degree Houston, Texas weather real soon. Thank you all so much for just caring about my well-being. It honestly means so much to me. I hope you all have stayed safe. If y'all are Texans like I am, I truly send my prayers out to you and hope that you're okay. But like always, until next time, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Bye.